All right, so everybody should be able to see my screen now. And I see people already. Valerie sharing a website. Thank you so much. Want to make this meeting, this class, as interactive as possible. And I want to preface this by saying, I've been doing SEO since 2007 approximately, and it changed my life personally. I was kind of a struggling one-man operation doing IT work here in Los Angeles. Discovered SEO. I had a website for years, but it was just there to be like, people would ask, oh, what's your website? And then here's the website. But I didn't really realize that it was an amazing sales tool. Done correctly, if you're showing up, on the first page of Google, especially in those top 3 positions, it's your best salesperson, sales agent of all time. It works, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And unlike other forms of marketing, SEO has more of a permanent effect. So if you're doing Google ads, for example, as soon as you stop paying, you disappear from Google. If you're doing a print marketing campaign, once you've passed out those flyers or your advertisement in a magazine, runs out, again, you disappear from the audience that you're targeting. I've had websites that I've ranked number 1 on Google, still number 1 after 10 years. So that's how powerful SEO is. And I will add also that in almost every survey that I've seen, they do these year-end marketing and company surveys to determine the most effective forms of marketing. SEO is almost always number 2. What's number 1? Email marketing. Why? Because it's about 7 times easier to sell to somebody who's already purchased from you. So for those of you out there with an email list, and you're not sending out weekly or regular emails to the people who have purchased from you in the past, you're really missing out on your highest ROI of marketing. So I encourage you to do that. And for those of you who don't have an email list, your website should, in the footer at the very least, have a way to sign up for your newsletter. There, even a few people is something you can start with. But that's email marketing. We're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about showing up number 1 on Google, right? So I'm excited to have you all here, Mastering Search Engine Optimization, a beginner's guide. And the course is designed to help you understand how SEO works, and more importantly, how to use it to your advantage. Whether you're a business owner, a marketer, or somebody just getting started with a website, you're in the right place. Over the course of this class, we're going to cover how search engines work behind the scenes, the key elements of SEO, like keywords, content, links, and site structure, and practical steps you can take to improve your ranking and get more visibility. The goal, to help drive more targeted traffic, build trust with your audience, and outrank the competition, even if you're starting from scratch. Okay, so let's talk a lot about why SEO even matters in the first place. First, SEO guides customers to you. Instead of your audience stumbling onto a competitor site, SEO helps your website show up when they search for products or services. Let's test that, right? Let's do a quick test here. And let's say, for example, best plumber in Dallas, right? So there you go. This, I promise you, well, these are ads, and about 15%. It's probably a good idea to talk about this results page, because a lot of you don't necessarily know how it's structured, and it changes depending on the search. It's not always the same. But these sponsored links right here, about 15% of people click on those links. 15%. The other 85% scroll down because they know they're ads, right? They don't trust the ads as much because anybody can pay to be there, right? Even a bad company. So for example, and then moving on down here, this is the map pack, right? This is for a service business like plumbers, electricians, landscapers, gardeners, any service business. About 50+% of people are going to click on one of these top 3 links and choose that person. And who are they going to choose? Generally speaking, the person that answers the phone the first or replies the first to a contact form inquiry. So it's really important. And then the other 35% are going to show up here. So there's really 2 types of SEO that we're talking about today. Number 1 is local SEO or map SEO or Google Maps SEO or the map pack or the 3-pack. They're all the same thing, but referred to in different ways by different people. And then you have what's called the organic listing here, right? So you see here, this Baker Brothers Plumbing is generally, if people are scrolling down to the organic listings, this Baker Brothers is going to get a lot more business than everybody else on the page. Why? The number one listing, now actually it's Yelp and Reddit are number 1 and 2, but people tend to skip over these because they're just more directories. Now they might click on Reddit and read about and then find a business from there, definitely. But you can't necessarily rank your listing on Reddit as easily as you can your website. So that's why it's important, to rank on Google. Let's see here. Second, higher rankings lead to more traffic. It's simple. People tend to click the top results. If your site is near the top, you'll naturally get more visitors. And more traffic usually means more sales. So SEO brings in people who are already searching for what you offer, which makes them more likely to convert. Lastly, SEO is strategic marketing. It's not about guesswork. It's about using proven methods to make your business more visible to the right people at the right time. So power, what you're talking about here is the power to change your life. Going back to what I was saying, I started doing SEO, started ranking number 1 in Google, and fast forward about 5 years, I had 17 employees, 6 websites, 7 Google My Business, as it was called back in the day. Now it's just called Google Business Profile. 7 of those listings, I think about 12 phone numbers. I had a store on Abbot Kinney in Venice Beach. I had another location that we used to do just the repairs at. And it was, a pretty wild time. And I credit almost all of that to search engine optimization. So if you guys are, embarking on a journey to rank a website number 1, you'd be hard pressed to focus on anything better. And I should also add, that yes, people find you on social media. They can find you in a lot of places, but Google is king. Google is king. They have, a dominance in the search market. So a lot of people you might hear, saying, search engine optimization is dead. That's just not the case. Search engine optimization is dead. They've been saying that for well over 10 years, maybe 15 years. It hasn't died yet, and it never will die. It will change, it will evolve, and likely it will have less and less importance in a world where there are so many different channels and ways to find you. But for the foreseeable future anyway, Google is still number 1 by far and bigger than all the other channels combined for most businesses. So in this case here, the reason I know I shared this is because one of our clients, started off and they were doing okay. This is washbins.com. And we redid their website. We did conversion optimization, and we started doing local and organic SEO. And now they show up for just about everything that you search for related to trash can or trash bin cleaning, and they dominate their local area. We track their rankings in special tools like Ahrefs, and also another tool called Local Dominator. And we're going to talk about what we did for them and how we did it a little bit more later. But the proof is in the pudding, so to speak. Using SEO and CRO, my agency, Brobeck, helped Washbins multiply local search visibility by 800%. That means effectively just the search aspect multiplied their revenue by 800%. We increased their organic visibility by over 300%. Remember I talked about earlier about how there's a difference between local search visibility and organic search visibility. That's what we're talking about here. And we doubled conversion rates their conversion rates, increased them by 100% from 2% to 4%. So that alone doubled whatever their revenue was. And the end result is we grew their revenue from 1.6 million ARR, annual recurring revenue, to an astonishing 4.3 million in annual recurring revenue in 1 year. So extremely powerful stuff here that we're going to be showing today and talking about. Okay, and I should introduce myself. I'm Robert Portillo. I do SEO, CRO, some web development we do as part of our agency, and then of course AI marketing. AI has taken over marketing. It's made incredible things possible that were never possible before. Anybody can be a content expert and so many more things. AI combined with SEO and CRO, that's why I focus on those three things because with those three things combined, you can build a business into a multi-million-dollar business from scratch. It will take time, but if you follow the principles that we talked about today, you will succeed. So I have an IT background. I told you I had a computer repair business, PC Fixer, Tech Studio, and now Brobex Marketing. I have a conversion optimization channel that you guys are all welcome to join. You will get this in the course resources later, but it's called Conversion Rate Optimization Junkies, or CRO Junkies, and we have 12,000 members now, and that was started about 5 years ago. Also, in the past, in 20 years, we've served over 10,000 customers, and it includes some really big name companies that we've had the privilege of working for, and we've learned a lot working for small mom and pop businesses and big companies like HBO and so forth. But the principles are all the same. It doesn't matter how big your company is. Scale is really what matters when you're talking about bigger companies. But when you talk about optimizing an individual page so that it can rank high on Google, the principles are almost always the same. Okay, let's talk about how search works a little bit, right? To really comprehend and get the most out of what we're going to be talking about today, you really need to understand how search engines work, right? So let's break down how they actually work behind the scenes. First, there's crawling. So search engines use these automated programs called spiders or bots to scan the internet and discover new or updated content on websites. So for example, if you go in and tune your page, a spider or a bot will crawl your site periodically. In some websites, it's every few hours, and some it's every few weeks. It just depends on how much traffic you get. They will notice the changes, and then it will affect the rankings eventually. It could take a few days, a few hours, or a few weeks or months even, depending on the keyword, competition, traffic, and so many other things. So that's crawling, right? That's the first step. The next step is indexing. After the bots or spiders find your content, these spiders store what they discover in a huge database called the index. Think of it like the internet's version of a library catalog. So, and then finally comes ranking. When somebody performs a search, the search engines use a complex algorithm to decide which pages are the most relevant, the most authoritative, and useful for that specific search query. And then it ranks them accordingly. And then finally, users see the search results, which are those ranked pages displayed from most to least relevant or authoritative. Understanding this process is key to understand what SEO is really optimizing for. So you got to get the crawling, indexing, ranking correct, crawling and indexing working properly before you can get ranked and show up in the search results. And oh, by the way, guys, this is all may seem very dry right now, but we're going to really get some hands-on here, and we're going to go in behind the scenes in the dashboard of WordPress and show you how to do all of this so you can do it yourself. For those of you, by the way, who aren't inclined to do it yourself, or it just seems too complicated or time-consuming, you're welcome to reach out. We can help you as much as possible, as much as you need, as much as you request. So this slide, think of organic. We're going to talk about the difference between local and SEO again, right? So think of organic SEO like a national TV commercial. It's ideal for businesses that operate or sell products across the country, locally, or even globally. The goal is to rank on Google's general search results, often for informational or product-based queries. It's especially useful for e-commerce businesses that don't require a physical location. So, example, best furniture store, Los Angeles. We're going to scroll down past the 2 ads there, and then another ad here mixed in with the organics, and you're going to see our client here, Modern Resale, best furniture stores, Los Angeles. That's pretty cool, right? That they can rank there, and I promise you this is driving a lot of traffic to their website. They get thousands of visits every month because of Google. And then if you scroll down here, this is the organic we're talking about right now. This up here is the local, right? Okay, so on the other hand, local SEO is like putting up a billboard in your own neighborhood. It's designed for businesses that serve a specific geographic area, like restaurants, dentists, or home service providers. It focuses on specific searches and aims to appear in the map pack, the top 3 listing you often see in Google with maps and reviews. In short, organic SEO is for reach and scale, and local SEO is for proximity and trust within a community. So if you're, a local business that paints houses, let's say in Riverside, California, you want to focus more on this local pack here and do local SEO. But if you are an e-com business that sells products across the country, across North America, or even globally, you want to focus on organic SEO, because generally speaking, this map pack won't even show up here. So for example, let's say, telescope near me, or near me will trigger a local search, telescopes best, right? We type that in, and now you can see the search result page has changed dramatically. So now we are in what's called the shopping space here on the top. And if I click on shopping, it gets even more specific to products. But we're going to go back here and see it says shopping and shopping carousel across the top. And then below that is all organic. And you see there's no map pack here because it is a national query. You can buy a telescope from anywhere. You don't have to buy it from your local shop. So you're competing now in a national space if you're selling telescopes. And that's why you want to focus more on organic SEO. Okay, keywords. Now, this is probably the most important part of all of SEO is your keywords, right? What keywords are you searching for? And one famous example I'll give you is attorneys. Attorneys like to refer to themselves as attorneys, right? But consumers refer to the attorneys as lawyers, and they're different. So if you type in, let's say best attorney in Seattle, right? You're going to get a different search result than best lawyer, right? Let's see how different they are. They're not always totally different, but you can see here, these 3, Will and Will, Bradley and Davis, and then now different, right? So Bradley and Will are there, but this one is here, right? And then you're going to see Justia, best lawyers, super lawyers. These are all directories that dominate. Yelp again, Avo. And then finally, the first real business is Seattle Law Offices. So if we scroll down here, again, Justia, best lawyers, attorney search, super lawyers, Reddit, Yelp, and then Stoll. This is the first actual business here. So very different keywords, even though they mean the same. If you want your business to succeed, you need to know exactly what people are searching for when they're looking for what you sell. If you are targeting the wrong keyword, you can spend months, years going after the wrong keywords and wondering why you're not getting more customers. So what are keywords, right? They are the words or phrases people type into search engines when looking for answers, products, or services. If you know what your audience is searching for, you can create content that matches their intent. Next, we have primary keywords. This is the main topic of a page, the core phrase you want that page to rank for. Each page should focus on just one primary keyword to avoid confusion and relevance. So that's one of the mistakes a lot of people make, is they're like, oh, I'm just going to put all the keywords on my page. Guess what? You're not going to rank for any of them if you do that. Each page needs to focus on one main keyword, one primary keyword, and then some supporting keywords, right? These are the 10 or 20 related, supporting keywords are the 10 to 20 related terms that give search engines more context and help your content rank for variations. So for example, if you want to rank for best attorney, you might also rank for top rated attorney, right? Top 10 or top attorney. So those are different keywords. Remember, if you just change one letter, it's a totally different keyword. So we're going to look at what these people are targeting for their primary and secondary keywords. And I'm going to show you an example of that here. We're going to go to this one here, Stoll.com, and we're going to use a special tool here called the SEO Pro extension. This is free. It's a Google Chrome extension. And the way you get that is SEO Pro extension, and you go here, and you simply say add to Chrome. And you add it to Chrome, it'll add, and it will show up in your plugins up here, and you can pin it if you want. And then you have this awesome tool that I love and use every day. And then when you click on it, it's going to give you the actual SEO information related to the page. Now, let me see here. Let me do something here. There we go. Someone's microphone was unmuted. I was just fixing that. All right, so let's look at this. This is what they're targeting right here. Seattle law offices, attorneys in Seattle. See, there are two ways of saying the exact same thing, right? But if they tried to rank for, attorney in Washington, just plain Washington, then it'll screw up the page, because now they're ranking for trying to rank for the whole state instead of just the city. Totally different keyword. So this is the main keyword, the primary keyword. This is a supporting keyword, right? So this is called the title tag, by the way, and we're going to get more into that in a bit. But if we look at their headings, we can see that these are some of what they consider their supporting keywords. It doesn't mean they are good supporting keywords, but these are what it appears to me is what they are unwittingly and unknowingly using as their supporting keywords, and they're terrible. Sales of personal data, that has nothing to do with attorney in Seattle. Strictly necessary cookies, again, nothing to do with it. These H tags are extremely powerful, and clearly this company, even though they rank fairly well, doesn't get it. They've got it wrong, and I'm going to show you how to get it right. Okay, so back to the slides here. And then finally, we have long tail keywords. Long tail keywords are more specific phrases, usually a lot longer, like best running shoes for flat feet. They're great because they tend to have less competition and attract visitors who are farther along in the buying journey, often resulting in higher conversions. So when you plan your content, think in layers: primary keyword, supporting terms, and long tails to round it out. So you could remember, guys, like say you have a nail salon and you're trying to rank it, right? Nail salon near me. And we go down here to the first one. So we're going to pick this milk and honey spa, right? So we could say, okay, well, I have a nail spa and we are located, where are we located? Let's see here. They should have a map in the footer and they don't. I can't even see where I'm supposed to go. So this is a big problem. One of the first things, I'm not going to go to a spa that's 20 miles away in Los Angeles. It took me an hour to get there and back. So why aren't they showing where they're actually located? It's a huge mistake on their part. Now, I got to try to figure out where they are located. And it's so stupid. And now I got to go through their really robust menu and I can't immediately find it. And if I get frustrated, and I am already frustrated because I'm, trying to make the most of your time here, and I can't find where they're located. I know I'm off on a tangent here, but okay, here it is. And now I got to click to see the location. And now they've got a bunch of information up here that have nothing to do with the actual location. Welcome to Milk and Honey. I clicked on the location, and then I have to scroll down to actually see the address finally. Okay, bad Milk and Honey. And this is a relatively big company. They're just clueless. Whoever designed the website didn't know what they were doing, and they're going to lose visitors because they don't have the information in the right place. Okay, so let's look. So let's use a little AI here. Now this is ChatGPT, and you can use this at the free version. I pay $20 a month, but I could say, I'm trying to rank my nail salon. Give me a good primary keyword where, no, better yet, give me 10 primary keyword examples. We are located in Los Angeles. Let's just say they're located downtown. Okay, and let's see what it says. So it's going to give me 10 primary keyword ideas. Nail salon downtown, best nail salon. So here we are, right? So any one of these could possibly work, but you'd only know by doing keyword research. So let's say nail salon downtown Los Angeles. Well, let's see what the search volume is for that. One of the ways that you can do that is by opening Google Keyword Planner. This is free. And, it's basically ads.google.com/aw/keyword planner/home. And then click on new keywords, paste that in there, and let's see what the search volume is for that. So it says there's 480 searches a month. That's pretty good. But maybe one of these other keywords has more search volume. Better yet, maybe one of these other keywords has better search intent. So for example, maybe this one has only half the volume, but because it has best in it, people are willing to pay more, right? You see how complicated this can get very quickly. What would you rather rank for? 480 people search with perhaps a lot of price shoppers that don't appreciate your premium nail salon, or 240 a month who are literally looking not for the cheapest, but for the best, right? You see that? That's why it's so important to target the right keywords. You can't just pick any random keyword. You're just going to get random results. So by the way, we do keyword research. I try my best not to sell, but keyword research is really complicated. Chris, who's in the chat, he's moderating the chat. He's my number one. He does all our keyword research. And sometimes it takes him 20, 30, 50 hours or more, depending on the project, to do keyword research. But once it's done, we have this amazing spreadsheet that allows our clients to make informed decisions. So they know that they're targeting the right keyword on every single page of their website. So now we have the primary keywords. And let's just say we're going to go with best. I don't like price shoppers myself. I would prefer to avoid them. I'd rather have a few really good customers that have, appreciate the best and aren't looking just for the cheapest. And we'll paste that in there and say, okay, now make me a list of 100 supporting keywords. And while that's going, I want to say Rahul, Raj, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then here we go. So these are going to be the supporting keywords. What do you do with these keywords, right? Well, we're going to get more into that, but we're just talking about the keywords right now. But basically, the primary keyword, you would get into the title tag, which we showed you early on here. This is your title tag right here. And then the supporting keywords, we want to get into your headings. It's really that simple. I mean, you do that and you're halfway there, just those few things. And 99% of websites get this wrong. Wrong. They're just totally clueless. They don't get it. Okay, let's go back to the AI here. And now we've got a list of supporting keywords. And you just pick the ones that are relevant to your business. So maybe on your page, you have a section for birthday nails. Now, maybe nobody else was smart enough to do the keyword research. And trust me, nobody is. In fact, I have in 18 years this year of doing SEO, I've found maybe 2 out of the hundreds of clients we've done SEO for. We served over 10,000 clients, but not all SEO, only several hundred we've done SEO for, because we tend to pick a few really good clients. Right now we have a few dozen, and we do their SEO. And one of my clients has been with me for 15 years. So anyway, the point is, on these birthday nails, say you're the only company smart enough to do the keyword research, and you put a section on your homepage of birthday nails downtown Los Angeles, and nobody else is targeting that keyword, chances are you're going to rank number 1, and you're going to get almost all that birthday nails search and business, right? So that's why another reason keyword research is so important. So you would go through all these supporting keywords and pick the ones that are relevant to your business, to what you do, to what you stand for, and so on, or to what makes you the most money, right? Maybe you don't want to just do nails. Maybe you want to do a complete mani-pedi massage package, right? Maybe that's the keyword research you do. See, again, it gets more and more complicated, but I tell you, you do the keyword research, and you literally, it's probably the best investment you will ever make for your business, period. Because that keyword research, which has to be redone periodically because the search behavior changes, search engines, competition changes, and so on and so forth. But once you have that, it will pay you back 10, 100, 1,000, thousands of times more, because you actually took the time to do this. And it'll set you apart from your competition in a big way. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to get into some of the nitty gritty here. And remember, you know, what are powerful keywords, right? Well, powerful keywords have high search volume. That means a lot of people are searching for that keyword. The higher the volume, the more potential traffic you could earn. Low competition, right? So we didn't talk about competition, but if you go over here, you can see the competition here, right? Why would you target this keyword right here with only 70 searches and medium competition when you can target this keyword here with low competition that has way more search volume, right? And it's just a little different. Nail salon downtown Los Angeles, nail salon near downtown Los Angeles. That's crazy, right? Right? There's other factors.
Hi, Robert, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have a request to make your screen a little bigger.
Make the screen a little bigger. Sure thing. You can do that. I know it's a little hard to see on these spreadsheets. But anyway, this is what we're talking about here. This is the Google Keyword Planner. Another tool that I use every day that's not inexpensive, but also has keyword research. We can say best nail salon Los Angeles. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Here we go. Best. This is saying there's 200 searches a month. So different. I trust Google more. I don't know about you guys, but it's nice to use multiple tools. Sometimes one tool is totally wrong, even Google. So we tend to use 3, sometimes 4 or 5 different tools, and we kind of average them out and use subjective reasoning to determine what the best keywords are. And if we click on this, it shows, well, right here, it shows the keyword difficulty is 6 out of 100, which means it's relatively easy. And there's not a whole lot of nail salons doing SEO. So if you happen to have a nail salon, you're brand new, you could pretty much move in and take over your local market. Because I promise you, women in particular, and some men are using their phones to search for nail salons. So using all kinds, literally hundreds, thousands of different keyword phrases to find a nail salon that you're, you know, if that's your business. It shows your traffic potential is 500 a month. Why is it 500 a month when this line says 200? Well, because there's all kinds of other keywords you could rank for, right? Those are your supporting keywords. So you could rank #1 for this, but then also rank #1 or on the first page of Google somewhere for hundreds of other keywords. In fact, just to give you an example of one of our clients, a more extreme example, this is Organic Authority. Check this out. Or let's say Organic Authority. Oops. OrganicAuthority.com. Now, this has been in business for over 25 years, and they rank for 73,000 keywords, right? Now, in this case right here, if we say best non-toxic cookware, let's see here, Food Network, Food and Wine, Reddit, here they are, 8 best. So they get a lot of traffic for this page. So how much? Well, let's see what Ahrefs says. Okay, they rank for 3,100 keywords for this page. 3,100. Now, don't worry about the -687. It's seasonal, it fluctuates with time, and so on and so forth. But they get about 13,000 visits to their page for these keywords. And if we click on the keywords, you'll see they rank for non-toxic cookware, best non-toxic cookware, best cookware material for health, and so on and so forth. And see the volume on all these here is very high. So you can see why even ranking, you know, #4 or 3.6 or whatever gets them a ton of traffic. Okay, low competition. We talked about lower competition means easier to rank. This is especially important if your site is newer or has lower domain authority. If you're new, you know, if you're breaking into, let's say, plastic, you have a brand new plastic surgery business, you don't want to go for, you know, plastic surgeon or plastic surgeon, you know, Brentwood, you know, or plastic surgeon Santa Monica or plastic surgeon Manhattan. You're not going to rank for it. I promise you, it's super competitive. But you might rank for best rhinoplasty plastic surgeon in Santa Monica, right? So that's different, right? It's a longer phrase. So you want to target low competition keywords, and then as you rank for them, you slowly target higher competition keywords. Commercial intent. Now, this is probably the most important thing here. Commercial intent. What does that mean? It means that people are looking to actually buy, right? So for example, if I type in plastic surgery or plastic surgeon, right? You would think that that's a good keyword to work for. Not really. What if someone is looking for schools to become a plastic surgeon? That's an informational search, not commercial. Or maybe they're just, they're interested in learning about like what a plastic surgeon does, right? Or maybe, they're doing research for a project at school on plastic surgeons. It doesn't mean they're looking to hire anybody, right? So you want to make sure that there's purchase intent, right? Commercial intent tells us that the searcher is likely ready to take action, whether that's making a purchase, signing up, or booking an appointment. These keywords are valuable because they're directly tied to conversions, right? So commercial intent, not informational, unless, for example, you have a blog. This is informational intent. They're not looking to buy anything because there's nothing for sale. They're looking for information on non-toxic cookware. How does this company make money? Paid ads, affiliate, agreements with manufacturers and so forth. That's how they make money. Okay. I'm going to close some of these windows because it's getting a little unruly here. And then, by the way, I closed the window, and I should mention, I should finish here. One thing, see if I can find it. Well, let's go back here to my history. And if you guys aren't using ChatGPT, I highly, highly recommend it. I didn't mention here, so it's given us these supporting keywords, and then I could say, give me, 50 long tail keywords. Now, this is just as an example here of other keywords you can target. If you're new or you're looking to target, less competitive keywords, these tend to be longer, have lower volume, but also lower competition. Okay, back to this here. And then high relevance. So we have high search volume, low competition, commercial intent, and then high relevance, right? Finally, the keyword must match what your content is about and what your audience is actually looking for. Even if a keyword has great volume, low competition, and commercial intent, it won't help you if it's not relevant to your product or service. That's why if I type in best nail salon near me, I don't see automotive repair, right? It's not relevant, but it gets more critical with that too. If someone's looking for massage, for example, and your nail salon happens to do massage, but another company just only does massage, then you're going to have a more difficult time ranking because your website is not as relevant to massage as a complete website that only does massage, right? So the high relevance is really important as well. All right, creating effective long tail keywords. Let's talk about how to build long tail keywords that actually drive results. Long tail keywords are longer, more specific phrases that often include modifiers, words that make the intent clearer. These modifiers can include adjectives like best, affordable, top rated, near me, and so forth, and prepositional phrases like near me, Chicago, nearby, closest to me, for beginners, for seniors, for example. Why do they matter? Long tail keywords typically have lower competition, but higher intent, right? They have much higher intent. So the example earlier, best running shoes for flat feet, right? That's someone that's really interested in buying these shoes. If someone types in just running shoes, then obviously they're much less likely to convert. You can also tap into searcher psychology by thinking about how people phrase their questions, like how do I, or what's the best, or where can I buy, right? So where can I buy the best running shoes, right? Then that person's hot. That's a hot, hot, hot lead, right? You want that person to visit your website, and you want to give them all the information they need to make an informed decision so that you maximize the chances that this visitor to your website will convert into a customer, right? By combining these types of phrases with your core topic, you can create SEO content that ranks faster and converts better. Okay, once you understand what kind of keywords you want, the next step is to use tools to actually find them. Let's start with free options. So Google Keyword Planner, right? It's the most accessible, it's free, it gives you basic data, and it's a great starting point, especially if you're working with a limited budget. And then we have paid tools like Ahrefs, which we showed you, SEMrush, Moz, Keywords Everywhere. They give you deeper insights, things like keyword difficulty scores, competitor data, traffic estimates, and even backlink profiles. We'll talk about that later. These tools are incredibly powerful for building out a full SEO strategy. Then finally, making your selection. Your choice of tool depends on your goals. If you're running a small blog or local business, free tools might be enough. But if you're managing multiple sites or running large-scale campaigns, investing in a paid tool, or even hiring somebody to do your keyword research can save a lot of time and deliver way better results. Okay, I want to mention too, like, going back here to this slide, there's one of my favorite tools for keyword research is called Keywords Everywhere. I have it turned off now, but it's extremely affordable. Like, see, I have 86,000 credits. I don't know, I think I've paid for $20 or $40 in credits, and I've been going months. And it's so super affordable, and it does a whole lot more than keyword research. So once I have, it's a Chrome extension. So if you search for Keywords Everywhere, Chrome extension, or go to keywordseverywhere.com, you can find out how to install that. There's a free version as well. You get a certain number of credits, I think. And then once you do a search for, let's say, best marketing agency in, let's say, Tallahassee. All right, there we go. Best marketing agency in Tallahassee. So what we're going to see here is, I don't know why this is not popping up, but it should here. There we go. So this is what you're going to see from Keywords Everywhere. It shows up right. It's not an app by itself. It shows up right in the search page. It shows you the difficulty, 43 out of 100, and how much you have to tune your page, and so on and so forth. And then down here, it shows the different keyword volume here, right? Tallahassee advertising agency, 90 searches a month, so on and so forth, right? Related keywords down here, long tail keywords, and so forth. It also does some other really cool stuff here, like get search intent, right? So if we clicked on that and clicked use ChatGPT, it's going to open ChatGPT with that keyword, and it's going to tell you if it's a good keyword to target, if it has the right intent, right? So here we go. It's analyzing all the pages, and it's saying pages 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, and 9 are all commercial. These are navigational, and then there's one page that's informational. So this is a good keyword to target if you're a marketing agency as far as search intent goes. Anyway, Keywords Everywhere. I love that tool. It's super cool. By the way, it'll also do some other cool stuff, like if I say analyze titles for SERP, right? And then open in ChatGPT. Remember we talked about title tags, which we're going to get into real quick here. It's analyzing all the top 10 title tags. These are all the top 10 ranking pages, and it's going to create a title tag suggestion for you. So that's the amazing thing about some of these tools and AI is it's really doing some thinking here. And now it's going to say, hey, if you want to rank number 1, what it's going to do is it's going to look at all the top ranking pages and say, well, this is what's working for all of them. So let's combine all the best of what they're doing and create something even better. And then it's going to create an actual title tag for you. And this right here, best marketing agencies in Tallahassee, Florida, top 10 picks. Now, it's not always right. That's not necessarily the best one, but it usually does a really good job. Okay. And then here we go. Next here, and then on page essentials. Okay, this is where we're getting into the actual nitty gritty of this. There are 2 basic types of search optimization, on page and off page. Off pages are things like signals from social media, like how often do you post, links from your social media profiles, citations or business directories, right? If you're a local business and you haven't listed yourself, on Yelp and Google and Yellow Pages and all and so on and so forth, then get out there and do that right away. These are all off-page signals. But what we're going to talk about right now are the on-page signals. It's sometimes very difficult to control all of your off-page signals especially for maximum effect. But it is easy, right? In fact, I don't know if it's necessarily easy, but 100% accessible to do your own on-page SEO. What are the most important things? Now, guys, if you remember anything that I've talked about so far, this is the slide right here, because this is giving you everything that you need to do the most basic on-page optimization that counts for probably 75% of all your rankings. On page is way more important than off page these days. So there's about 12 signals that Google looks at. See, when the Google spiders, bots come to your page, you think they're looking at all your content. They don't necessarily. They're looking at hot zones. And the hot zones are your title tags and headers and your content, your images, and your internal linking, okay? Your title tag and H1 header and your URL are the most crucial spots for placing your primary keyword. These tell the search engines and users what your page is about. Title tag and header. All right, let's go here and let's look at the first page that was submitted. So this is In a Rising right here, right? A sacred healing community. All right, accept that. And let's look here. And right off the bat, we can see there's some problems with this page. Number one, the URL doesn't have any keywords in it, right? That are related, that anybody that didn't know the name of the business would never find it based on just their
Robert,
URL.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We have a question. Yeah. What is an H1 header?
H1, I'm going to get into that right now. Yeah, H1 header. Right now, we're just talking about the title tag, and this is the title tag right here, In a Rising. Now, ideally, you know, you do definitely want to have your brand on your homepage, but also, you know, if a little bit about what In a Rising does, you want to have that in there, right? And same thing with the meta description, right? So we're going to go back to the slide here, so I know I'm title tags and headers. Okay, so the headers are your headings, same thing. Headers, headings, they're both interchangeable. And they are H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Now, these headers can be a little tricky, but they're actually seem a little tricky, but they're actually really easy. An H2 and H1, you get one of them per page. H2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, you can have as many as you want. But generally speaking, they are sequential. So you don't want to have an H4 if you don't have an H3. You don't want to have an H5 or H6 if you don't have an H5, right? That doesn't make sense. They're supposed to be in order. So these H4s should be H3s, and these H6s should be H4s. So they got whoever's page this is. We'll try to be gentle and helpful here, but looks like, you know, your H tags are out of order, and that's important because now Google sees your page, the spiders, the bots. It's not actually any people. They're going to look at this page and say it's not structured well. Moreover, you have a blank H1 right here, which is not helpful, right? Also, your H1 should be at the top. The actual H1, this one here, which is blank, should actually have your keyword in it. So let's actually go to, let's see, this is, so let's say, you know, I don't see any keywords here. I don't know what this website does. Your partner in health, special member, like I would never do business with this just because I don't know what this website's about. Now, probably other people find this page, you know, at business cards, other ways, and they might know a little bit about it before they land on it. But I'm landing on the page and I literally have no idea what this website does. I don't know what a sacred healing community is, or what you're offering. And we can get into that a little bit later, but conversion psychology. But right now, there's just not enough information here for me to even dig in. I just, you know, I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know enough what you're doing to help you. So I'm going to go to a different page here because it's hard to show you what I'm trying to show you. All right, so we're going to go here to services, and so this right here again, I don't know what this integrated solution personal wealth. I doubt this is a keyword, either one of these that are commercial intent or that anybody's searching for. So that's a problem. Now we're going to go back up here. Services. What services? Like, this is too generic. It doesn't mean anything. Again, no meta description. So let's go back here a little bit, and we're going to talk about meta descriptions. I know it's not listed here, but we're going to talk about that. Sorry. Clicked wrong. Okay. So here. go. Sorry, guys. Thanks for your patience. All right. So title tags and headers we talked a little bit about, but now we're going to talk about the meta description. The meta description is super important, and a lot of people say it's not a ranking factor. I disagree, but it is really important because it's what shows up in the search result. So for example, if I say financial advisor Los Angeles, and I scroll down here to, let's look at some independent business, Brighton Jones. Oh, that's locations. Here we go. Los Angeles Wealth Management. That's a keyword. That's what you would want to target, something you want to target. It has high commercial intent, and it's right here. Now let's look and see. Look at that. Los Angeles Financial Advisors. That's in their title tag. Look at that. Their meta description. Los Angeles Financial Advisors. Guys, people seem to think like Google is some super intelligence. They're not. They're stupid. The bots are really stupid. They do not read. They don't understand context. They do math. That's it. They calculate. And when they don't see your keywords in the right places, they're not going to rank you. So this page is doing it right. Now, here's something you can all apply today, and remember this. In an ideal world, you want your keyword that you're targeting, that you researched, to be in your URL, right? You want it to be, and it's not. So this could say Los Angeles Wealth Management. That would be better because it's in the URL. You only get one URL, so it's really powerful to have that URL, the keyword in the URL. That's number one, most important of all. Number two, your title tag. Number three, your meta description. And number four, your H1. Let's see, do they have it in their H1? Any bets? Look at that, Los Angeles Wealth Management. Whoever set up this page knows at least the very basics of SEO. And you can see by, just if you ran this tool on 100 random sites that are top ranking on Google, depending on how competitive the keyword is, you'll see a lot of them get this wrong. And trust me, this is proven by countless SEO tests by colleagues of mine that this is absolutely necessary. And one of the best ways to tune a page is to research that keyword and make sure it's commercial intent and delivers the right kind of customers to you and has enough search volume and low competition. Get it in the URL, get it in the title tag, get it in meta description, and get it in your H1. Boom. You will be ahead of 9 out of 10 of your competitors in most, in all but the most competitive markets. I guarantee you, if you look at, attorneys and stuff like that, you'll see like most or all of the top 10 results are going to have this because they're notorious for hiring SEO companies because there's so much money involved. When you're talking about a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, that they're making 40% on, you can bet they don't have any hesitation in investing in SEO because they know it pays a huge ROI. I also remember I said, if we look back over here, this right here, I'm going to turn keywords everywhere off because it's muddying up the search result page. But if we scroll down here, you'll see here, this is your title tag. See, we go back to that page and we open it up and we look at the title tag. That's what's showing up. It's also what shows up in your tab up here. See that? If I hover over it, if I go back here, this is what shows up in your meta description. Find Los Angeles. Now, Google can rewrite this. If you write a bad one, Google will rewrite it. It sucks, but they do it. So if I go back here to the tool and say, fine, see, this is their meta description. This, by the way, guys, you want sales copy here, right? Don't say aspirant provides investment. Who cares what you provide? Tell me what I get. Make more money on your investments. That's what I want. I don't want to hear about how great you are. I want to know. It's often said that people only care about how great you are after they know how much you care about them, right? They only care about you after they know how much you care about them. That's why you put them first. You put your customers first, right? And this meta description here is where your conversions start. This is what determines what's called click-through rate. So if I go back here and if I have a good meta description and title tag, even if I'm ranking down farther, and it says, hey, we're going to make you 50% more every 5 years on your investments. And none of these all these other ones are saying, we're the best. You know, we've been in business 50 years. You know, we're the greatest, blah, blah, blah. But this company is saying, hey, we're going to make you a lot more money. Who do you think is going to get more clicks? Promise you, this company will get more clicks than normal for a number 4 position. But they got it wrong. Find Los Angeles financial advisors. What is that? How is that helpful for? How is that telling me what I get? My point is, this should be sales copy. This should be persuasive copy to try to get people to click on your listing. That's what the meta description is. Okay. So again, URL, go back here. No, that's not URL. They got it wrong. Title tag, they got it right. Meta description, they got it right. H1 tag, they got it right. And then now looking at their other H2, their other H tags. Let's look at their structure here, right? Let's go back. So they have one H1, correct? Then they have H2s, H3s, H4s, H5s, and no H6. So at least they've gotten the basic sequence correct here. They don't have any errant H tags, right? Now, you can blame website designers for this because even the best website designers in the world don't understand SEO. Almost none of them. In fact, I've never met, out of working with hundreds of website designers, and I'm not kidding you, hundreds of website designers over the years, not a single one understood even the most basic SEO. So that's why it helps to hire an SEO company, a website design company that also does SEO. It's just night and day difference. You can spend, I've seen companies spend, literally, I saw companies took 3 years, they invested $25,000 in a website, they handed it over us to do SEO, and I said, you know, we have to rebuild you a site. It's too hard to redo everything. And they fired us. They got so mad, they're out of business. They were out of business within a year because they didn't do keyword research. They hired a terrible website design company and they failed, right? And I was just being honest with them, and I did it nicely, but they just were so upset with the news that they fired me. It was called Body Selfie TV. They were an exercise company that was trying to sell their exercise videos. A huge disaster. So anyway, going back here to the slide, content optimization, right? Great, relevant, engaging content that satisfies search intent. This means writing clear and valuable content that directly addresses what users are searching for. It's about matching search intent and why they're Googling that topic in the first place, right? So the content on your page really matters. So let's go back down here and hopefully I can find a website that's in the ballpark. It's hard to show you guys. I don't mean to put, those of you who shared the website, we'll come back to these and give them a little bit of advice. But I'm trying to find a company here that's like at least in the ballpark. Like, see, like our services. See that? Personal care, skilled care, medical equipment, right? This is how you structure your services. This is well done here. So if we say medical equipment, right? All right, well, let's look at the content of the page. There is none. So this page is not going to rank. This is the only content that I see on the page, right? It's just not enough. You need more information here, not just for Google, but for the users to make a more informed decision. So, I mean, guys, I could, have AI write me content for this page and put it up, and in 15 minutes, it'll be way better than what's here now. There's no reason for this. With AI, you can tell it, write me some SEO optimized content for medical equipment, and it will write it. And then your chances of ranking will automatically be a lot better. So the content on your page is really important. Now, I will say this, right? The number one thing with your content is the keyword you're targeting needs to be in the first sentence, or at least the first paragraph. So we talked about URL, number 1, title tag, number 2, meta description, number 3, H1, number 4, keyword in the first sentence of your content. That's number 5. Now, the reason for this is, people land on the page and they start reading, and you don't want to meander for several paragraphs before you start talking about medical equipment. Google knows. They've been watching people use Google for decades, right? For over 25 years, they have watched people search. They have trillions of points of data. They know that people don't like it when you don't have the keyword in the first sentence. The keyword in the first sentence tells people, I'm in the right place. Let me keep reading, right? So a page that has the keyword in the first sentence is going to not only rank better, but it's going to convert better, generally speaking, as well. and then image optimization, right? So you want to use descriptive alt tags. Oh, I'm sharing, what's going on here? Oh yeah, okay. Image optimization. So search engines can't see images the way that we do. So we have to use descriptive alt text. Now, this is not completely true. Google is able to see the content of images, but will they invest the time to do it? Only for the top 10 rankings, generally speaking, and only in the most competitive markets. What do I mean? So Google Vision, let's type that in here and click here. And I can go down here to the Google Cloud Vision API, and I can submit an image. Let me see. Oh, they've changed the page. Anyway, I don't know where it goes. Demo. I think this is it. All right, so I can pick an image here. Let's say this one right here. And click here. And now look, it's looking at the image and it's saying garden, shrub, lawn, ground cover, landscaping, yard, walkway, driveway, and so on and so forth. And then as far as text, it sees the text and then it shows the colors and it says, you know, it's a safe image. Now, yes, they can see this information, but it's intensive, it's resource intensive. So they don't generally do it, at least not until they've looked at all the other factors of a page and they're trying to do tiebreakers basically to see who has the best page. For the most part, what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at your image alt tags. So what are image alt tags? Well, it's the code behind this image right here, right? That's what it is. So if I click inspect, I can see the code related to this right here, and I can see this right here. Alt equals aspirant Los Angeles. Now, we see their first mistake because the first image on their page does not have the keyword. That's my other advice to you. Get the keyword in your URL, title tag, meta description, H1, first sentence of the content, and your first alt tag. And the rest of the alt tags, put supporting or long tail keywords. But do it in a way that as if you're describing the image to a child, a blind child, right? That's why, because people who have poor eyesight or they're blind, they use special tools to read these images and tell them what the image is. Well, Google also uses them as a ranking factor. That's one way we can look at the alt tag, but you can also use this awesome SEO Pro extension and go to images. And we can see here they have 93 images on the page. 38 of them have an alt tag and 55 don't. That's 55 ways they missed out on optimizing the page. So they have this one right, their logo, aspirant logo. They have it again, apparently. Now they have contact an aspirant financial advisor, aspirant Los Angeles, right? So if we were to write a good alt tag for this, the very first image that we see on the page, it's actually their logo and then this one here, but we'll pretend it's this one. We would say, you know, we could actually upload that to AI and ask AI to write the alt tag. That's what I would do. If you had to manually do it, you would say something like, you know, palm trees with the sunset, you know, drawing or something like that. And then hyphen aspirant Los Angeles, or just aspirant, right? Aspirant wealth management. That's what I would do. Or Los Angeles wealth management, because that's what this page is about. That's what I would do. So we can go here, I can right click and I can save the image as, and go to my downloads, save it. Also the file name, guys, see this right here? If we look at it, it says losangeles.webp. That is a missed opportunity as well. Google looks at the file name as well. So you want that file name to say Los Angeles Wealth Management, palm trees, hyphen, aspirant, or something like that, right? There's no exact way to write an alt tag. You just want it to, you know, have your keywords, have supporting keywords, have keyword variations, have long tail keywords, your company name, describe the picture, and so on and so forth. Now, this is going to be a WebP. I'm not sure if ChatGPT will accept that file, but I'm going to click add photos and files and I'm going to upload that, and it does. That's cool. And I would say describe this image as if to a 5th grader. I said 5-year-old, I meant 5th grader. 5th grader who is blind, right? And then it'll think a little bit. No, that's not going to do it. I'll say write an alt tag for this image. Let's see if it does a better job. And that's the thing with AI, by the way. By the way, I have a free AI course as well. And I'll post the link to that a little bit later. But here, see how I wrote it right here. Stylized illustration of palm trees on a hill with an orange sun setting behind them, right? And then I would put hyphen aspirant Los Angeles Wealth Management, or Los Angeles Wealth Management hyphen aspirant. That's what I would do. I would brand every image, especially if it's your own, with ending with your company name. Because brand search is really important. We're not going to get in. That's more intermediate SEO. We might talk about that a little bit later, but brand search is really important, and more important now than ever. In fact, arguably the most important thing lately, but it's complicated, and we'll talk about that later. So that's alt text, right? And then finally, internal linking. Internal linking. What is internal linking? Well, we go back here. We're going to close some of these windows for now. And we'll say, let's say, painter near Newark. And then we're going to scroll down here. We're going to be like, okay, let's see if we can find a website that has some good internal linking. So internal linking are these right here. Look at that. If I click on 6-year unlimited warranty, it takes me to information about their 6-year unlimited warranty. So that's an internal link. And there's one there, and there's not a whole lot of internal links on this page. But if I this one's, if I click on links, it shows me total links, unique links, internal, external, right? And then if I click here, it's going to show me the different internal links. Why are internal links important? Well, because it helps people navigate your website. See their 21-step preparation process, right? The more internal links you have, as long as they're good and they're relevant, they're going to help you. See how they have a service area page for all their different cities? So now they have painting Newark, right? elgatopainting.com/Newark. And if I click here, Atherton, right? There's a whole page devoted to Atherton. That's how you rank. You know, they've done their keyword research, and they can see that all these different cities have enough search volume to make their own page. And because most competitors don't do it, they can really clean up, right? So what if I said, you know, painter, right? So we scroll down and look at, they're ranking number 3 for that page. You know, and if we look at their SEO, look at that. Portola Valley Painting Company, best painter in Portola Valley. And then again, Portola Valley, and then Portola Valley in the URL, Portola Valley in the H1. Let's see if they have it in the, and look at this. You know, scroll down. Welcome to offering blah, 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 homes business throughout Portola Valley. So they don't have the exact keyword there, which is a mistake, but they have it in essentially, right? Sometimes it can be really hard and awkward to get the keyword in the first sentence, but you got to do your best. So whoever did this website, that's why they're ranking well, because, and that's why we clicked on them and found them as an example. This is, they know, whoever set up these pages, this website, knew what they were doing. Okay. Let's go back here. And where did my notes from? My notes tend to just disappear for some reason, and I don't know why. So they're gone again. So I'm going to go back, pull those up here. Okay, so that's internal linking. Oops, lag there. All right, almost done, guys. Wait, and then we're going to just really just jump in and do some real world examples here. Just a couple more slides. Then we have technical SEO. Technical SEO, for those of you who are new, it's often overlooked because it's complicated, and but you can't overlook it. Your website needs to be healthy, right? Technical SEO is about making sure your website is built in a way that search engines can easily crawl, index, and understand it. So let's break down the key elements. Mobile optimization. The site needs to work flawlessly on mobile devices. Google uses mobile first indexing. Reason why is more people use their phones than desktop computers or tablets. That means your mobile site is what they primarily use to rank your content. And your mobile site is going to look different than your desktop site. Let's look. So this is their desktop site, right? And if by the way, I'm pushing F12. F12 pulls up the emulator possibility. So I can say, let's see what this looks like on an iPhone 14 Pro Max. And now I'm looking at the page on an iPhone 14 Pro Max, right? So it has to be optimized. And look at this, it's impeccable. This website is impeccable. It's a good company that did this. So as far as I can tell so far. I can emulate a tablet, right? Or all kinds of different things here. There's iPad mini, right? This is what it looks like on an iPad mini. So it has to be mobile responsive. It needs to look good on all devices. Second thing is page speed. Of course, if your page takes too long to load, especially on mobile, users will bounce. We've all done that. We've clicked on a link and you just sit there and nothing happens. And what do? You just click back and click on something else. It's a waste. So you want your website to load in 3 seconds or less. It's not just an SEO factor. It's a conversion factor. In fact, it's more a conversion factor than anything. Schema markup. Schema markup is special code that goes on your website. I don't expect you guys, this is more intermediate stuff, but it's important to know. If we go here again to the tool and click on schema, we can see they have web page schema, website schema, organization schema, image object schema, this image schema, and a bunch of other schemas here. Breadcrumb list. These are just code that goes behind the scenes that only Google sees that saves them resources. So they like websites that have schema because, and there are tools out there, they'll make it for you for free, but it's generally better if it's done. It's definitely better if it's done by somebody who knows what they're doing as opposed to a tool. A tool won't boost your rankings at all. So this is something you definitely want to hire a professional for. But again, it's intermediate. It's not absolutely necessary except in the most competitive environments. But it's important to know that this is something that can really help, especially if you're writing content for your page that's more geared towards sales copy and converting people and less for Google. Schema can really help you get all those keywords in on the page in the code that the user doesn't see but Google sees, right? That's one of the advantages of schema. And then your URL structure. URLs should be clean, short, and include relevant keywords. We talked about that. Avoid long strings of numbers or irrelevant words. A well-structured URL is easier for both users and search engines. So these technical details might not be flashy, but they form the backbone, of high-performing SEO strategy. And then off-page SEO. At the top of the pyramid, we have high-authority backlinks, and these are links from reputable, relevant websites in your industry. So, for example, if you had a camping website, let's say you sell high-end camping gear, right? You scroll down here and you say, oh, let's look and see, oh, King Camp Outdoors, right? This website, King Camp Outdoors, sells those products, but maybe, they find a blog that's related to camping and they reach out to the person who runs the blog and says, hey, can I write an article for your blog? And then they might, if they agree to it, if it's a good article, they'll say, yeah, sure, let's do it. And they put it on their blog, and on the blog article, they thank you. They, says, hey, if you enjoyed this article, visit our website, or it's in the content or whatever, and it links back to your website. Those are signals to Google. These backlinks are a significant ranking factor, and they're difficult to get. A lot of people pay good money for these things, and it's one of the most challenging parts of SEO. So backlinks matter. Social media presence, of course. A lot of times, just if you don't have Instagram, TikTok, and all the social media profiles for your business, go out and make the profiles and just make a post once a month. Right off the bat, you're going to be ahead of many of your competitors, if not most. On the social media profile too, they'll like, for example, if you make an Instagram profile, business profile, they'll ask you what your website is, and then that counts as a backlink. So it's kind of it serves two purposes, right? You get the social media presence, plus you get the backlink from that social media profile. And then business directories, right? So like if I type in one of my clients, Clayton Graphics, right? So what you want when you type in your business brand name here is you want all the listings to be about your business. And you'll see, I know they are, because there you go, their website, their Google site, their Yelp, their Facebook. Let's go. Let's see how far it goes. LinkedIn, YouTube, CBS2 from a press release we did. Another powerful potentially powerful SEO tactic is press releases. Then there's LinkedIn, Indeed, Tumblr, Weebly, MapQuest, Pinterest, Tumblr again. Another Google site, Patch, Zoom Info. Look at that. All this, Yellow Pages. Again, Indeed, right? Let's go down. Okay, that's where, and then it starts to get a little more sparse, but you get it. The point is that you want to list yourself in as many of these free business directories as possible, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, it's simple. It just takes time. So you go to ChatGPT and say, list the top 10 business directories for my, let's say, electrician business. All right. AI is your best friend. I mean, it's like having a super intelligent assistant. So now it's listing them. Angie's List, Yelp, Google Business Profile, Bing Places, Home Advisor, Thumbtack, and it's going to list it. So most of these places have free listings. They will try to sell you an upgraded listing. Not worth it in most cases. I could say list 100 of them ASAP, right? And then it'll go through and it'll list 100 of them. My recommendation is list your company in the top 25 minimum. And if you have the time or you want to hire a service that does it, do 100. Yeah, that's really, really good stuff there. It's time consuming, but free in most cases. Okay. And then the last slide, guys, and then we're going to jump into some real world strategies here and get in behind the scenes. Advanced SEO strategy, right? Content silos. So content silos are a combination of pages. So for example, you could start by creating 5 to 10 related pages around a single topic or theme. Each page should target a different but related keyword, offering a depth and variety on the subject. And next, ensure 100% internal linking among those pages so they're all linked together back and forth. And think of it like a hive or a loop where each page connects to the others. This builds a strong topical relationship that search engines understand and reward. At the center of it all is your one money page. So this is the main page you want to rank, usually a product, service, or main conversion page. All the authority and relevance from your related pages funnels into this page, boosting its ranking power. The result is you create a tightly connected group of content that signals to Google, we are the authority on this topic. So, if you're selling power tools, for example, right? And your, competitor out there just has one page that has all the power tools, but you have pages that are broken up into different power tools, then you're going to have a much easier time ranking because you're putting more work into informing your potential customers and also showing Google that you're an expert on the field. So let's say power tools silo as an example. And I'm going to go to images in this case. Okay, silo. I don't know if it's going to pull it up. Here we go. Here's the example. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, zoom in here for those of you. So say you have a page, power tools, you're trying to rank. Then you create another page called cordless power tools, another page electric power tools, another page gas power tools. And then under cordless power tools, you have cordless drills, cordless planers, cordless hammers, electric power tools, electric compressors, electric saws, right? Gas power tools, gas generators, gas compressors, gas powered saws. That's a content silo. Now, if what we're looking at here, and see these arrows are showing you the linking. So this links to that links to that, and that. They all have these internal links. But notice this does not link to this, and this doesn't link to that. They keep this strictly, all of these are related to each other, so they only link to each other. Any one of these can link to each other, and they should. Any one of these can and should. Any one of these should and can link to each other, but none of these should link across this way. And all of them link to power tools, and all the power tools link to all of them. That's called a content silo. And what we're looking at here is 13 pages, right? And so instead of the one page, you have 13 pages. So this gets into the more intermediate and advanced stuff here, but it is also worth mentioning. Guys, I could go on for days, weeks, just talking about SEO and all the different possibilities. It's complicated, but everything that you've learned today so far will get you 90% of the way there in most, but the most competitive industries. So, all right, for now, let's talk a little bit about this website here. Let's go back to this, and then we're going to look at your websites. So if we look here, right, trash can cleaning service is the target keyword. Trash can cleaning service, right? What's the H1? Trash can cleaning service, right? And then if you look at these other ones here, like these are entities related to trash can cleaning, insects, maggots, pests, filth, stench, and get clean trash cans before bin cleaning, after bin cleaning. So these are all related, right? State laws related to, composting bins, trash bins, fun fact, trash can cleaning to the press, right? And so on and so forth. So you can see the more H2 tags you have, the better, because it means your page is more structured and easier for Google to understand. So you have a challenging task in creating content both for the user and for Google at the same time. If we look at the images, same thing here. You're going to see, look at this alt tag here to describe this. A red square with a stylized white S, blah, 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 blah. You see how long the alt tags are? You can make your alt tag as long as you want. In fact, some people have tested 200,000 words in an alt tag, and Google reads it all. They index it all. That's crazy, right? So these alt tags are powerful ways to get keywords in, especially when it's difficult to get them on the page, right? Describe the image, right? An empty, dirty, green trash bin before cleaning. There you go. An empty, dirty, green trash bin before cleaning again. And then an empty, it shouldn't say dirty, an empty green trash bin, an empty, dirty, green trash bin. This should say after cleaning. So we found a mistake there. This one got it right. I'll have to make a note to fix those. But you see the point here. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little bit around the back end, and then we'll answer questions and do examples. So a lot of you are probably wondering, well, this is all really great, but how do I actually work with a website? I have bad news. I'm only gonna show you WordPress. If you're on Wix or Squarespace or the GoDaddy Builder or any other platform, it's going to be different, but you can look for the zones. Sometimes they call them different things, but again, AI is your best friend. Just ask AI, right? AI will help you find out where those zones are. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to look at pages. And then I'm going to go down here. This is Bel Air dumpster cleaning. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to click edit. And then I'm going to scroll down, right? So I'm going to look here. Now, first thing that I'm going to look for, again, like we showed you, lock. Okay, what's going on here? Really bizarre. I don't know why it's doing that. But I'm going to click the edit button here, and I'm going to go down, and you see this dumpster cleaning service Bel Air, right? Pretty close to the exact keyword. So it's in the first sentence, so I can cancel that. That's good. Now I'm going to scroll down, and Bel Air dumpster cleaning services. This is the title tag. This is where you enter the title tag. I can put whatever I want here. And then this is the meta description. This is where I enter the meta description, right? So, and then I'm going to show you something else here that's really important. The social. These are called social tags, social cards, so on and so forth. And they are also a ranking factor, more now than ever. In fact, if I go to Bruce Clay here and I click this and I go to social, you'll see what their social cards are. They're Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter or X. Those are the two primaries. And if I go here, you want to get your keyword in first thing in the Facebook title. You want to get your keyword in the Facebook description, same thing as meta description. And this is where you put your thumbnail image right there. Looks like we haven't set one up for this yet. They've got hundreds of different service area pages, and that's why it's like a lot of times you don't, because you're targeting such a long tail keyword, you don't even need to worry about the social cards. It's a lot of work, and sometimes clients don't pay for it. So we would take us hours to do their hundreds of pages on their social cards. We do them on their main pages, but their service area pages, what happens if you don't put anything in for the Facebook title, it just uses whatever your title tag is. So my recommendation is, though, to get in and create unique Facebook titles, descriptions, and Twitter titles and descriptions, and even, excuse me, your default thumbnail for each one. So that's how you optimize. And then as far as the H tags go, that gets more into website design, but it's all here. If we scroll down here, see that right there? If I scroll on that, I can see heading 2. That's my H2. If I scroll back up, the H1 is somewhere else. It's not in this, but if I go here, look, that's an H2, right? And if I scroll down here to this, I can, say I want to change that to an H3. I just click on this H3. So that's where you set up your H tags. And then the alt tags are done on your media library. So if I go to media library and I click on one of these, here we go, alt tag, which is also called alternative text. And this is where you enter the alt tag. And this is the title of the image, right? And this is the description of the image. So we didn't talk about these, but these are also ranking factors, right? So now there's tools, by the way. I can say generate alt text with AI, and my tool will generate all this automatically. You got to review it, though. Sometimes it'll screw it up. So you have to be really careful about using those tools. But anyway, that's how you optimize the page. Now, as far as the content goes, you want to optimize the whole content, not just the first sentence, right? All this content matters. So I'm going to show you one more quick thing. So this is what is SEO siloing right here. I'm going to open up this awesome tool, and you're going to see this in the class resources. I'm going to click log in. And the keyword here is, oh, this is different. So I'm going to click new content, and I'm going to import from URL. I'm going to copy this URL. Surfer SEO is amazing, by the way. It'll help you optimize your content. So the keyword here for Bruce Clay is, what is SEO siloing, right? It's an informational search. I'm going to paste that keyword here, and then I'm going to click create, right? And now it's going to look at that page. It's going to analyze it. You see this right here? How to groom a long-haired cat. So I'm going to let that run. It takes about a minute. And I'm going to open this how to groom a long-haired cat. So you see right here, it's showing what the optimization score is out of 100. A lot of times I'll look at this and it'll be way in the red. So this is something you want to do, and we're not going to get too much into this, but these special tools like Surfer SEO, and there's many of them out there, will not only, this will do everything but the title tags, H tags, and it actually does some H tags, I take it back, and the title tag, but it doesn't do all tags and some of the other stuff. So it'll even help you do your internal linking. So if we go back here, what is SEO siloing? It looks like this page here has a optimization score of 8 out of 100. I can click auto optimize, and it will actually use AI to optimize that page. So pretty cool stuff. All right. So, and then one more tool here that's really cool for those of you optimizing for local. When we're talking about wash bins here and what we did, local SEO is a tough nut to crack. But if you want to rank highly, get a lot of reviews, optimize your Google business profile. So what is that? So if we go over here to wash bins, right, and type it in, You can see it says my business on Google because I manage this client. If I go to edit profile, you want to go in and fill all this information out. Fill it all out. Be detailed. Take your time. Put in your research keywords in here wherever you can, and get reviews. And that's probably add your photos, right? Add an update. This is like a social media profile. If I go here to add update, I can add an update, an offer, an event. Same thing. It's just like making a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter post, right? And then I can see how performance and so on and so forth, right? I can click on performance and I can say, okay, well, this is how many phone calls we've received in this. They get most of their business, by the way, online. They don't like phone calls. So it's all done through their forms and emails, and they purposely don't want people to call. But bookings, they don't have bookings set up, directions to their business. They don't have people coming to their business. And then website clicks, right? This is how many clicks to their website, right? So it has a lot of information in here. And I recommend, if you have a local business, the best thing you can do is fill everything out in as much detail as possible with keywords, and then start getting reviews as quickly as possible. And then once you get going, you can use a tool like Local Dominator. Local Dominator is a tool that helps you track map rankings. So for example, this is wash bins. And this is a history of their rankings. So I'm going to go back in time as far as possible here. And so this is November 30th, 2023. And you can see what their average rank was. It was 6.35. What does that mean? It means that the average of all these pins, which are 3 miles apart, is 6.35. So you can see they're located right here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And you can see they're ranking number 1 at their location, right? Number 1. And then as you go farther and farther away, their rankings start to go down. That's normal, right? So if we go way down here to Palos Verdes, they're number 17 now. And I'm not going to get any calls because they're too far away. But they service Palos Verdes, so it's a bummer, right? That they're not ranking there. Well, as you can see, if you look here, this yellow, yellow, yellow starts to turn to light green and then to dark green, right? And then fast forward, check this out. Fast forward to today, or May 1st, and look at that. Look at the difference. Now down in near Palos Verdes, they are number 4, not number 17. Dramatic difference. In fact, if we go back and we push this out even farther, now the map pins are 5 miles apart. So we can see what they look like there. And this, remember guys, this is 3,000 square miles. This is what absolute domination looks like. They're up here in Ventura County, right? Almost Ventura County right here, still ranking number 3, miles and miles away. They're way out here, right? In the San Fernando Valley, still ranking number 3, right? That's the goal, is to slowly increase your rankings so that you have more and more range. Your rankings expand farther and farther out, right? We made this as an example. They actually have a Newport Beach location that we started with 0 rankings. It was about a year ago. And now you can see what their rankings are in Newport Beach. This is only 600 square miles, but you can see how we've expanded. We started from nothing. They had 0 rankings, 0 presence in Orange County. And now you can see that between the 2 locations, they're doing a pretty good job dominating all the way from Orange County, all the way up to almost Ventura County and into San Fernando Valley. Okay, that's it. I'm going to open this up to questions. Anybody that has any questions, now would be a good time to ask them. Any questions? If not, we'll just jump into some of these websites here. We have this one here, submitted by Ahmed. And this is Courtesy Healthcare Services. Guys, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to bring this over to this window. And open up a different share window so I can look straight ahead. Okay. This is not showing up. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to move that over here. All right. Let's look at this, right? What are the top factors? Number one, URL. There is, this is the home page. So it doesn't have the keyword in the URL. That's normal. And then we're going to look at their title tag. And we can see it's just their brand name, not really a lot here. And then they're missing a meta description. Let's actually go to their services. Let's go to personal care. Oh, right, we looked at this already, but we're going to get back into it here. So personal care, right? Is that actually a keyword? No, it's not a good keyword. Personal care is too big. What happens if I type in personal care? It's such a big keyword. There's combo boxes. There's, okay, home caregivers. Maybe it is a good keyword, but then now we have Target, personal care products. So yeah, not the best keyword here. What we want is something more hyper targeted to the actual service that they're offering, which is healthcare services, home healthcare services. That's what it is. So personal care should be home healthcare, let's say, right? We're not going to do the keyword research. It'll take too long. But what we are going to do is say, hey, look, let's say this is home healthcare is what you're targeting. And if you only do it in a certain city, then it should be that city. Home healthcare, Portland, for example, right? That's what the keyword on this page should be. And the URL should be too. Home healthcare Portland right there. And then it should be home healthcare Portland -courtesy HS. And then the description, right? Once you write, let's say, again, AI is your best friend here. It's not as good as like an SEO professional, but if you're beginning, it's going to get you way ahead. So let's say we say home health care Portland. And forgive me if you're in a different city. So this is courtesy HS. And then now write me a persuasive, click-worthy, meta description. So experienced, compassionate, professional home care in Portland, personalized support. So this is better than nothing. It's actually okay, right? I would prefer something. It's actually pretty good. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I would just get rid of experience because it just reeks of AI. Say compassionate, professional home healthcare in Portland, free in-home consultation, or free first week, or some kind of offer, right, that makes them want to click. Then we go back here, get that meta description on the page like I showed you, and then fix your H tags. You want to have go back in here. And I'm not going to do this for every site, but I'm going to say, okay, give me an SEO optimized H1 tag and complete H2 through H6 structure that contains relevant supporting keywords and long tail keywords. So see what it says, right? And this will help you restructure the page so that, now maybe these are good keywords. Maybe they are. I'm not saying they're not. I haven't done keyword research, but this might be a better idea. See, this might be better. In fact, this is probably going to be better. See how they're talking about why choose licensed, right? Important, flexible, 24/7, comfort and trust, types. And then this is getting more specific right here, which might be better for another page, right? So those are going to be your H2 tags. And then going back here to the tool, we're going to look at your images. And then you see here, you just say logo. I would put your company name and then logo. This doesn't have an alt tag. Get your alt tags in there. Take the image, and you can actually click on that image and go back here and say, make me an alt tag. Paste the image URL, and it will see that image, and you could use that. Courtesy HS, assisting a senior woman with daily tasks in Portland home. See that? That's a way better alt tag than nothing, I promise you. Get all your alt tags in there. Get more images on the page if you can. All right, we're going to move on. This is Momentum Tree Experts. We actually work with a tree service client. This is Tree Masters, and this is their old web page. And I don't know if we have their new page handy here, but Chris, we're working on a new page for them. But it's cool to see another tree service. I'm going to close some of these here. We just signed them, by the way, a few months ago. So Michigan's trusted tree care experts. Now, on this one, we're going to do a little something different. We're going to look at the SEO, but we're also going to look at the conversion psychology, because there is some here, and there's some good and bad. Number one, let's look at the SEO. Momentum Tree Experts, Tree Care Services, Southeast Michigan. Pretty good title tag. Pretty good. And again, dedicated to exceptional tree services. We believe in faith, excellence, and service. We'd be honored to care for your trees. Yeah, this sounds desperate. I wouldn't put that. It's just, this is not the type of copy. It might appeal to, I mean, faith. Like if you're talking about that and you only want Christian customers or something, that might be good. But faith is not a good word. It's you know, religion and politics have no business in business, in my opinion. I wouldn't say anything about faith, excellence. Like these are all, you know, this is all table stakes, right? And desperation. Don't do that. Give them an offer. Say, hey, for, you know, free visit with a tree expert, you know, something that's, you know, valuable, you know, for $500 off or $100 off or first time customer, something. This is supposed to be sales copy. So that's what you want. And your headings here, tree care experts, and then so on and so forth. You know, you've got it. You've got some good stuff here, right? In your images, you have 11 missing alts, so get those in there. Momentum Tree Experts, that's actually a logo, so say it. And then right here, certified, that's good. You got a good alt tag there. Certified arborist, good stuff. This is good stuff, really good stuff here. But you've got some missing alt tags, potentially. You know, there's no safety first. That's not an alt tag. That does not describe that picture. There's no keywords in there. Committed to excellence, that doesn't mean anything. These are not alt tags, and there's just no, get those alt tags in there. It's quick wins on that stuff. Your social cards look like they are just duplicates of your title and meta description, which is fine, but this is fairly competitive. I would get those in there as well. So scrolling down, you know, your content here. Is your keyword here in your first sentence? If not, get it in there. Now, I'm going to look, it's better if I look at your services page here, and then here's tree trimming, right? So that's the first mistake is I would, you know, in your services, I would have a drop-down menu that shows all the services. Why make them click through to go here? It's just you're going to lose people. So go to tree trimming. And now let's really look, right? Tree trimming and pruning. Big mistake. You don't ever want to have a page that says shoes and socks. People want either shoes and socks. And I know from keyword research that we've done for Tree Masters, trimming and pruning are totally different keywords. They should never be combined. They seem the same, but they're not. They're same cutting. That's the only similarity, is that you're cutting the tree. One is to make it grow a certain way. Another one is to make it smaller. Totally different things. So make a different trimming and pruning page. So that's a big problem here, is you're going to screw up your rankings by having two different things. You got the keyword in the URL. You got the keyword in the URL. You have it here, arguably in your title tag, and then you have it in your meta description, and then you have it in your H1. So good job on that. You did a really good job. And then again, we've talked about alt tags. You've got some missing alt tags here, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. But some of these, you know, if they're just like art or graphics or whatever, they don't necessarily need an alt tag. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. All right, now let's look at the conversion psychology. Say someone finds this page, right? You have 5 seconds to answer 3 questions. Where am I? What can I do here? Why should I do it? Well, where am I? Momentum Tree Experts. Cool logo. What can I do here? I guess I can click free estimate. Why should I do it? There is no clear why should I do it in 5 seconds. Why should I do it is, like $100 off or anything, licensed and bonded, or, 20 years experience, or, free on-site consultation or something. There's no, or, 5-star rated on Google. There's no reason, there's no clear CTA. Let me show you right here. So Clayton Graphics custom banners. I use this as an example. High quality custom banner. Where am I? Clayton Graphics. What can I do here? Get a free estimate. Why should I do it? Well, better to let someone else say. We know from research that people trust more what a stranger says than what you say. So let Diane here from Guess Inc. sell it for you. This is a review she actually wrote. We chose Clayton because of their quality, service, and ability to meet deadlines. They always make guests look good. That's important because it's a visual business. 5-second test passed. Where am I? What can I do here? Why should I do it? Back to here, not passed. Get a CTA in here. This page is extremely busy. There's way too much bolding here. Way too much bolding. Bolding is supposed to help you skim a page, but there's so much bolding on this page that it looks like an SEO, an insane SEO person did this, and it's not good for conversions or SEO. So you want one phrase per paragraph to be bolded, right? Or colored in this case. There's way too much content here. It looks like a homework assignment. It's not structured well at all. In fact, if I look at the H tags here, these are not going to be good H tags here at all. You've got it correct in that you have H2, 1, 2, and 3, and you don't have any other ones before they should be used. But the actual heading section is very weak, and these are not good H tags. So using the techniques we used earlier, I would get in and fix this page. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the conversion psychology, but just we're going to just only talk about that 5-second test. Okay. This is another page submitted by Michelle. Alum House. Let's do the CRO first. 5-second test. Where am I? What can I do here? And why should I do it? How funny. Luxury glamping. I had no idea. I have another client that does Lito Luxury. They do glamping products here too. And it just weird coincidences. That's cool. Close this. Oops, wrong one. Let's open that up again. Okay, so this one, it looks like more of a service where you can book. So where am I? Alum House. What can I do here? Book now. Why should I do it? Crickets. Peace and tranquility awaits you. Sounds very, I see what you're trying to do there with making like persuasive copy, but maybe not, the best thing to put, again, better to have something like this. Like, man, I went to Alum House for a week, and I came back and did more work the following week than I've done in years, or something like that. Like, give me a real, why do people want peace and tranquility? They don't want peace and tranquility necessarily. They want to feel better. They want to rest. They want to relax. They want to be refreshed, these types of things. These are features. You want benefits, right? That's what we're talking about. Luxury glamping accommodation in Littlebeck, Whitby, North Yorkshire. Book now. By the way, I would put this CTA as a different color. If you noticed here, the CTA button here is red. And it's the only thing red on the page besides the little red and the logo. And you'll scroll down and you'll see these CTA buttons are always the same. That's how you get people to click, is you train them to know what they're supposed to do by having clear CTAs. That's actually something worth a good offer. And you have them, and we actually make these wiggle a little bit too. And you have them consistent throughout the page. And you don't have a bunch of, see, this looks like a CTA button too, which is not good. So make this blue, yellow, green, something that stands out. That's my recommendation. We're gonna go to, I would get rid of home. Everybody knows you can click on the logo and back home. Anytime you reduce the menu items, you make the site simpler to navigate. Our accommodation, I would just say accommodations. Like, it's not your accommodation, it's theirs. That's very company centric. You don't want to act like it's your accommodation. It's their accommodations. You want it to be theirs, not yours. And then you have your accommodations here. Now, I don't know, luxury glamping lodge and tents. Okay, that's pretty cool. If maybe that's the keyword, luxury glamping lodge. Let's see. Our accommodation, no. So this is a fail. Our accommodation is not the keyword. Your keyword is luxury glamping lodge in this case, in absence of any keyword research. So you have it in your meta description. That's cool. And then you have it in your H1 tag, but you're missing it in your URL and you're missing it in your title tag. So get that fixed. And then images, not enough images on the page, or they're not showing up. You've got a problem here. Either the tool is broken or something is wrong with the code on your site. You have a lot of pictures I see, but for some reason I'm not seeing the alt tags in my tool. And it may be, like I said, it might be the tool that's broken, but make sure you get all these alt tags in because the pictures are what are going to sell. It's worth, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? A video is worth 1,000,000, by the way. Do a video walkthrough of each place so people can really get an idea of what the facilities are like. Otherwise, you know, you're doing okay here. All right, I'm going to move on to this one. This is Daisha Hoppen. And looks like maybe you're a real estate agent. These are really hard to do. The real estate is just tough. So I would just worry about, you know, optimizing for, you know, the big places like, you know, Redfin and Zillow and all those are just, they dominate the first page. So it's really tough, but you can rank them for more like, you know, house listings, you know, a long, very long tail keyword maybe. If we go in here, Daisha Hoppen. So I would say, you know, real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, which is going to be tough. I would break it down into neighborhoods. If I was really going to work on this site, I would do what are called service area pages. We saw some of those earlier in one of my examples. So here are service areas on this one. And you can see here, we've got custom banner. All these are different service areas and different products and so forth. But these are all like, you know, poll banners, Los Angeles, promotional banners, Los Angeles. You can do the same thing where you can break down all the neighborhoods of Georgia. And you could say whatever ones you operate in, what neighborhoods are in Georgia or Atlanta, right? And it will list them, and then you can make a page dedicated to, you know, home listings or real estate in Midtown Atlanta, Old Fourth Ward, Sweet Auburn, and so forth. It's going to name them all. Each one of these could be their own page, and that's the way you rank, is with those long tail keywords. So going back over here, you want to have, you know, some sort of keywords here. And then in your headings, same thing. You don't have any headings on this page. A lot of times real estate agents are like, they use these corporate websites and you don't have any control over this. So this, you know, that can be a really tough situation if you don't have control. But if you do have control, you know, the principles still apply. Do the keyword research, get it in your URL, title tag, meta description, get your H tag structure correct, you know, add some content here, right? This the home you're looking, there's no keyword in the first sentence, and there's just not enough content on the page to rank it. So that's going to be really difficult. Otherwise, you know, great profile picture, beautiful home pictures, you know, good listing here and so forth. That's about as much as we can do on that one. Let's go to Woman of the Woods. And this is, we'll do the CRO first. Where am I? What can I do here? Why should I do it? I'm at, where am I? Woman of the Woods. What can I do here? Nothing. You have what's called a false bottom here. I didn't think there was anything I can do. So I might just bounce and close the window or go back to the search results page. But you have your shop now down here. Don't bury your shop now button, and don't ghost it so that it's barely visible. Make it red, yellow, make it stand out, make it wiggle, move it here up to the top of the page. Now, I'm sure this page looks better on mobile, maybe not. So there you go. So yeah, it's not mobile optimized. You got a real big problem here because nobody on mobile is going to be able to read the page, and you're going to lose everybody. No one's going to consume that page. So what can I do here? Shop now. Why should I do it? Bringing nature's bounty to you. Oil. There's thousands, maybe millions of websites that sell lotions, potions, and more. So you got to do the keyword research and make sure that you're selling something that is low, that you're using keywords for what you're selling that are longer tail. Otherwise, you're probably never going to make any sales from search. So yeah, as far as SEO goes, you're going to want to do keyword research. I'm going to click shop now, and I'm going to see if I can go to one of the product pages. Close this. Yeah, it just looks like the site's not working properly. Yeah, there. Okay, now there we go. So, Helichrysum oil, basil essential oil. So we'll click on that. This is basil essential oil. So the keyword is in the URL. It's in the title tag, and for some reason you have this here, which should be rewritten. You have it in the H1, but none of your H2 tags have anything related to basil essential oil. So you want to get that in there. How? Again, make me an H1 through H3 tag structure for a product page. And just real simple, like it's a lot more complicated and detailed than this, but this will get you in the ballpark. See, these are things related to basil essential oil, pure, potent, and aromatic. There's your H3s, potentially. If these are all true, then you can add those to the page and add content. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to optimize this content. You want to break it up too, so they don't look like giant paragraphs. Another thing you can do is tabbed browsing. I don't know if the platform that you're using, but this is another website that we do the SEO and CRO for. But if you click here on their stick-on murals, these are really cool, by the way, guys. You can print these murals and they cover your whole wall, and you just stick them on. But this is tabbed browsing here, so you can get more content in there. And then these are H tags too. So this is a more elegant way so the page doesn't look really long. And break that content up into little sentences and paragraphs so that it's more easily consumable. The overall website has a feel of kind of amateurishness, and I don't mean to be mean, but like it's a trust factor. So, if you really want to sell these things, you've got to have a website that looks spectacular. Your website is the most important sales tool you'll ever have. And if you put, if you do it yourself, your chances of ever, being successful with it are going to be really tough. Now, social media and all that other stuff, that's different, right? You can sell your stuff on social media, and then, when they come here, they're already going to be highly motivated to do business with you. That's different. What we're just talking about is search, right? If we type in, basil essential oil, 5 milliliter. By the way, I said 5 millimeter. Let's go back here. 5 milliliter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're up against like Amazon, and Aromatics International and so on and so forth. So I would be very, if you really want this to be successful, keyword research and build a really nice website. It looks like you just have a few products, so it shouldn't cost a lot. A few $1,000s invented in. Looks like some beautiful stuff here, by the way. I like some of these images. Can be the best investment you ever make if you do it. Let's go. I think we might be out of sites. I don't see any more here. Chris, any other sites that I may have missed? Oh, here's one. This is. Oh, yeah. That one looks like a. I can't get into this right here. So I don't know how to help you with that one because I can't get in. I don't know what this is right here. Oh, right here, digital marketing expert. Okay, wow. Okay, it looks like the site is infected, if I had to guess. If I clicked on that, I'd probably get an infection. So I would be careful here. Yeah. Yeah, there's other people sharing stuff that I can't log into. Yeah.
The GitHub authentication stuff was a mistake. I've put the original link in the chat.
Oh, can you paste it again? I don't know if that's the right one. Able awnings. 5-second test. Where am I? Able awnings. What can I do here? Well, I'm going to go to a service page. Let's go to restaurant. We, strangely enough, this is our client, awningsandsigns.com. We've worked for them for over 5 years, 6 years now. Strange. So some cool synergy, synchronicity here. Where am I? Able awnings. What can I do here? Contact us today. And why should I do it? It does not pass the 5-second test. There's just a lot of SEO content on this page, some beautiful pictures. I can tell you do great work. The pictures are the most important part of a product page like this. But you need a top section like we've shown. You need a headline, a subheadline, and a call to action. And you don't, send your message is not a call to action. So you want to really get into the sales psychology of your customers and offer them something like, what do restaurant awnings of the ones you've worked with in the past, what's important to them, right? Think about that. Type it into AI. Say, these are all the things that are important to restaurant owners as far as making custom awnings and enclosures. I wouldn't put enclosures, by the way, just awnings. If you sell enclosures too, that should be a separate page. This is going to screw up your SEO. And then tell AI, to make you a headline, subheadline, and a compelling offer and call to action button text. That's what I would do. As far as restaurant awnings, you have it in your URL. You have it in your meta description. You have it in your H1 tag, and kind of have, there it is in your second sentence. So pretty good. You have some good SEO here. And then looks like, it doesn't look like your first image here, no alt tag. So you want to get that, describe all these. You're missing a lot of, 8 alt tags you're missing. But yeah, you want to get that keyword in the first alt tag. All right, someone posted this. This is like a landing page or whatever. Real estate, Keller Williams. Again, these are generally managed by Keller Williams, so there's not much you can do about these things. But this is a meaningless. Together we go further. This doesn't mean anything. No one says, you know what? I really need to go further with somebody tomorrow. I need to find a company I can go further with. That doesn't mean anything. And say something, powerful here that actually means something, like 1% commission. That's what I care about. I don't want to pay 3-4% commission to sell my house or buy a house. And then as far as SEO goes here, you don't have it. We've talked about what you need to do here. So, but yeah, these pages are very difficult to optimize because they're generally managed by Keller Williams, and there's nothing you can do with these. As far as conversion psychology, like we talked about this on the last real estate website. You know, you want to, yeah, this is, it's going to be really tough to optimize on that one. Boomi codes. So this is website design services for small business in Ogun State. So see how clear that is? Like it's really, really clear what this is being offered. Where am I? Boomi codes. What can I do here? Website design services. Well, there's no call to action or other than this. So the request a quote should also be down here. And why should I do it? You know, there's nothing here. So you want to make it, you know, some compelling, like some trust, you know, a review call out, something. And also, you know, you might want to rethink what you say as a sub headline here, you know, but it's pretty good. It's not terrible. We're going to go to a services page, affordable web design for small businesses in Ogun State. So yeah, I would break these all up into a separate page. It looks like you're trying to do too much on one page here. For me, you know, it's just too much. Break it all up into separate keywords for pages here. Because I assumed when I would click on this, it would, you know, I could go to separate pages and I can't. So web design services for small business in Ogun State. I don't know if that's even a good keyword there. Probably not going to be much, if any, search volume for that. So if we click search, oops, click the, it's like you have an errant comma in there. Yeah, there's a little volume, maybe 0 to 10 searches a month. So you might want to do keyword research on that one. Yeah, so assuming website design services for small businesses in Ogun State, same thing. You don't have, again, like this is going to be impossible to optimize this until you break it up into pages. This is a brand, affordable freelance agency in Ogun State. What kind of freelance agency? Freelance web design agency? This is too vague, right? Professional web design and development services for small business in Ogun State, right? Figure out what the keyword is and then get back to me and I can help you, you know, figure out what these things should be. Website design services for website design. See, you have a problem here. It doesn't, this is, it's broken. It should just be this, right? Assuming that's your keyword. And then you want to flesh out your H3 Boomi codes. Yeah, you've got a lot. You're just trying to do too much on this page. Yeah, so there's not much you can do until you break those up into different pages. Yeah. And then the last one, this is the last one. Rahul Raj, digital marketing expert in Manchester. Connect with me. So, okay, now we have something here that we can, you know, that I think Rahul can be proud of, right? He has where am I? Rahul Ra. What can I do here? I can connect with him. And why should I do it? Well, arguably, you know, he's got a very distinct design here. And he's showing you right here the brands he's worked with. Like there's some famous brands. So he's trying. The problem is it's just a little far down on the page on desktop. Probably looks better on mobile, and it does. So this is it. This is someone who actually, you know, got the basics right. Where am I? Rahul Raj. What can I do here? Connect with him. Why should I do it? Because he works with famous brands. Now, can you do better? Sure, you can. But you've got the basics right, right? So you're a digital marketing expert, right? So services. Again, I would, you know, go down here and break these into separate pages. So it's hard for me to do help you with SEO for a homepage because your homepage should just be the purpose of a homepage is this: to establish your brand. And that includes like answering questions and so forth. Show some authority, right? To help people navigate, right? That's another one, right? That the homepage helps you navigate, and that's why, you know, I would make each one of these here a clickable link so that you can go to an individual page for each one of these. But But yeah, if your homepage, you're just trying to establish your brand, so it's Rahul Ra, and then you would go here, and you've got that, right? Looks like you're targeting digital marketing expert. So, and you have it in your title tag and your meta description, and then you have it, there you go, digital marketing expert in Manchester. You've got that right. And then you want the first, I'm a digital marketing expert in Manchester. So you've got it here in the first content. So it's strange though, I can't highlight the text. So is this an image or just something that's blocking me? But it looks like you have the basics really well done here. If we look at the images, it looks like you're missing almost all of your alt tags. So I would go through, and these are all missed opportunities to get keywords in on the page. I mean, you can get literally thousands of keywords in and really optimize the page. Just be careful. Don't throw a bunch of irrelevant keywords in. They all have to be relevant to whatever keyword you're targeting. If you're not going to, until at least you break up the page. It's fine to target best digital marketer in Manchester, or just digital marketing expert in Manchester for your homepage. But for your service pages, if you break them up, you want to make sure you're not competing with your homepage by having another page that's targeting the same or a similar keyword. And if you do decide to make a page for just digital marketing expert in Manchester, and then have a true homepage that's just about you and your brand, and to help navigate, then I would remove. I would make sure that you don't target that keyword, but just talk about who you are as a brand, and just promote just you as a brand. So anyway, that's it for now. Yes, Raul, we can remove malware. If we had access to your backend, we can remove it. If you're on Wix or something, you can talk to your support at Wix and say, hey, my site's infected, and they should remove it for free. I like your colors, by the way. This is cool. It's a neat looking website. It has a good feel to it. So good job on that. You've got a lot of really good stuff here. You're writing blog content. You're doing a lot of good stuff here. It looks like you have, oh, okay. So you do have separate service pages. Oh, it's just a blog here. Okay. You're linking to someone else's blog. Strange SEO. Yeah, you're okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. We ran a little bit late. Thank you all so much for posting your, being brave and sharing your websites and being open-minded to input. Please, if you know anybody that needs help with SEO, feel free to refer us. And we'll be seeing you out. Please join. Check this out. So robertportillo.com. You'll get this again in an email in the class resources. But if you go to resources and this page right here, you will see the most recent replay. This is the AI class I did. It looks like this is not updated, Chris, by the way. This should be the new class. So if you could update that, that would be great. Actually, Chris, we need to have separate, this should say current AI course replay, and then there should be another one that says current SEO course replay for the different people who attend. But it has some of the tools and stuff and some other bonus tools here that I use and my agency uses every day. So reach out and join CRO Junkies, and I'll see you out in cyberspace. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thanks. Take care.